Use No Nonsense November, day 4, to supersize your business by embracing change, choosing to change. Well, this might be sounding a little off the wall, but my entire corporate career was about being a change agent, being a leader, a modeler, and an agent for change in some way, shape, or form. I remember my first job out of college was working at a toilet paper manufacturing plant. And we were trying to take the employees that were just groups that worked different shifts and turn them into actual teams. That's how old I am. We were implementing teams in manufacturing as my first job out of college. And that meant being a change agent. We were taking people that have, some of them worked there for 20, 25 years and telling them, okay, well, now you're going to contribute more to your job than just having your body show up and run one piece of equipment all day long. You're going to learn to be a safety person, mechanical, a quality person, all the things that this team needs to function and run well. Let's just say it was not a minor change to many of them. And it was not a small undertaking for those of us that were the frontline leaders of those teams. I learned very early on in my career, and part of my college training, I think, helped to prepare me for this, was that change is going to happen all the time. It's inevitable, and we can either be an agent and a positive force for change and help to make it go smoothly and flow, or we can resist it. Just like anything, if we resist it, that just really hurts us more than anything else, because the change was going to happen whether people adopted it or not. And some people left the organization over it, and that's always your choice, right? But to stay stuck in the same way of doing things for decades, just to be stubborn and think that you're right, is this pretty silly reason to not change. Now, there's all kinds of great books out on the topic of change if you need to know more about change. I don't pretend to be an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I have learned over the decades of being involved in businesses of my own, as well as working for corporate America for over a quarter century simultaneously, that if we can resist and push against something, and we're just going to get more of that. If you run into a brick wall, you're going to get hurt. And trying to stop the world from changing and things from moving forward is going against universal laws. Energy changing all the time and never being created or destroyed, that's a universal law. We can try to resist that, but what's the point? Because it's going to happen anyway. It's like trying to control the weather. If we try to control things that are outside of us and things that we can't control, it's an exercise in futility. So today, our action item question is to ask yourself, what is one way that I can embrace change and demonstrate it for the rest of the people in our organization? Because the speed of the pack is indeed determined by the speed of the leader. If you are a change resistor, and there's certain areas in our lives that we just are. I am a technological change resistor. I am not an early adopter. I have a sister that's an early adopter. It's amazing to me that we can all be raised in the same exact environment almost and be so different. There's 4 girls in my family and an AFS sister, Des. But all 4 of us, I'm sure we have very many similar traits and abilities and skills, but we also have very different ones, very different ways of looking at the world, very different ways of looking at ourselves, very different ways of interacting and making the world a better place. But one of my favorite tools back from when I was in corporate America, and it's still one of my favorite tools and still sits by my desk today, or my recording area anyway, is a little book called The Memory Jogger. This happens to be Memory Jogger 2, but I had the original hard ones, and have used this because it's right up my quality alley. It uses a lot of tools and things like histograms and tracking and statistics that were paramount to me doing a good job in my roles in corporate America. And I just became a real like with these, partly because they're pocket size, so I could carry it with me if I needed to, if I wanted to show somebody something or say, hey, this isn't just me saying this. Why don't we try doing this, etc. Because change is happening all the time. So we can embrace change and go with it and flow with it, and realize that I don't know if it's the cost of growth and supersizing, but maybe it is. Maybe it's one of the things we pay is being great at change in order to build and grow and supersize our businesses. It also behooves us to adapt fast and scale even faster. The faster we adapt to our changing world and changing environment and people's changing needs and wants and desires, the better we serve them, the faster our business grows. It's an ever evolving upward spiral if we so choose to make it that. If we resist it right down here, guess what? We're going to get stuck, and we might get stuck with our same group of customers, but we're going to have a really hard time growing and building and morphing into the organization that we want to be to make the world a better place, right? So today, one way that you are going to embrace change going forward. Maybe you're trying to change something or do something in your business right now and people are resisting. Maybe you're going to come up and share one way that you can help people to get over their resistance to this particular change. This way we can learn from one another, help one another, mastermind, coach, and build one another up by sharing what's going on with us in the comments below. That's it. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Change is good. Goodbye.